In the 16th century, the conquistador Juan Ponce de Leon and his crew landed in Florida. According to legend, they were in search of the Fountain of Youth. The indigenous tribes of Florida had many myths and stories about the legendary spring that was said to restore vitality to those who bathed in or drank from its waters. But how much of this legend is actually true? Are the stories of the fountain based on something real? Or are they just that? Stories. That's what we're going to find out. So, without further ado, I'm Andrew from Prizebox Productions, and welcome to Wierd Expeditions. Although legend holds that Ponce de Leon was in search of the fountain, this is actually false, as there are very few historical records to corroborate this claim. However, there were others who spoke of the fountain throughout the early days of the peninsula's exploration. One such person was Hernando de Escalante Fontaneda. At age 13, Fontaneda was shipwrecked in Florida. He was then captured by the Calusa, one of the indigenous peoples of the state. He lived among them for 17 years before he was rescued. During his time among the natives, he heard legends of a miraculous spring, often referred to as the River Jordan, where men and women could become rejuvenated. He, however, believed it to be only a myth. Another historian who wrote of the fountain was Antonio de Herrera y Tordesillas. In his book known as Decadas, Herrera states that the chiefs made regular visits to the fountain, after which they were restored to youth and, in his words, resume all manly exercises, take a new wife, and begat more children. But how could any water perform such miraculous things? As it turns out, Florida is a good source of dolomite, also known as calcium magnesium carbonate. As a result, Florida's groundwater, which is found in underground reservoirs, may contain traces of magnesium. Magnesium is an essential mineral for the body. It's necessary for the regulation of over 300 enzyme systems that in turn regulate the body's other biochemical reactions, such as energy production and DNA synthesis. It's believed by some to be one of the keys to maintaining a youthful appearance. But that's not the only thing that could contribute to youthful appearance in Florida. In 1984, a body was preserved in a peat bog in the UK. It was dated to be around 2,000 years old, and it appeared intact to the point its facial features could still be made out. Peat is primarily composed of decaying plant matter, so a lot of their essential minerals are often left behind. Minerals such as sulfur, which is essential to life itself, being that it makes up vital amino acids used to create proteins for cells, and is also needed for cellular respiration. Another mineral is phosphorus, which is used for cellular repair. Magnesium is also an essential mineral for plants. Peat is found mostly in the southern half of Florida. It's a possibility that native chiefs may also bathe in the peat to preserve their youthful appearances. But are any of these minerals really found in the water or in the peat in Florida?
So we're going to mix citric acid with water to see the reaction, so that we have a control group for this experiment. You see, there are almost no bubbles coming up in it at all. There are almost no bubbles in it, so it's control to show what I'm just going to mix it with distilled with water. But there was some stuff that was fluoride and such, but the other water does not have that in it. But So we're gonna pour some of the water into this. See if there's a reaction. Oh, yeah, you can see it. You can see the bubbles coming up now. It's reacting. Yeah. Okay, let's pour it in here, see if we can get the reaction started. Yeah, you can see all the bubbles and everything coming up in it. So yeah, there is. Yeah, so there. See all the bubbles coming up in it, barely, but yeah, I'm in the shot. Yeah, you can see all the bubbles coming up in it and everything. Yeah, that is the reaction I was looking for. That it did show, but it did show in the experiment I did look up for mixing magnesium with water. It is reacting to it, and it's producing the desired reaction for magnesium in the water. Now, I also managed to get some peat from the similar area. I managed to dig up. I managed to identify peat by the aroma it had and some of its appearances and characteristics, like it was able to, like its water absorption properties. Also from its smell, it smells a lot. There's like a rotten egg smell, so that's very indicative of sulfur being present in this stuff. Because it's a bit of a decaying plant matter, it's more than likely that because of the sulfur that's present, it's also likely that other essential minerals would also be present in this stuff. Would be like potassium, or in other cases phosphorus. Those should also be present in this as well. If sulfur and as well as magnesium were present in the peat as well.
So it appears there may be some truth to the legend. The fountain of youth may not have been the key to immortality, but because of the abundance of essential minerals found in these experiments, there could have been rejuvenating effects of bathing in the groundwater found in Florida, and perhaps even the peat as well. So I would say the stories in this case would be partially true. So with that, I'm going to end this expedition here. So be sure to check out our other videos, as well as PrizeBox Productions' other videos, as well as our channels PrizeBox Gaming and PrizeBox Reacts. Thanks for watching, and stay jamming, everyone!